Florida hard hit. Cases have now passed 200,000, and across the country we're closing in on 3 million cases, more than 130,000 deaths.
And the outbreak, of course, far from over. America's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, warning we are still, in his words, knee deep, Robin, in the first wave of infections.
So, TJ, in a moment, we're going to speak live with Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, who just yesterday announced she tested positive as her city battles a spike in cases and a surge in violence. But first, Matt Gutman starts us off in Phoenix, where they're also seeing an increase in cases and testing problems as well. Good morning, Matt.
And good morning, Rob. Good morning, Rob. And that really is creating this vicious circle. There is this surge of cases and a surge in demand for testing. People waiting here for up to 8 hours in the searing heat to get tested. And then sometimes they have to wait up to 10 days to get the results. Now, that lag is furthering the community spread here, and you really feel it in firehouses like this. Get this, over the past 24 hours, nearly 50% of the calls here have been COVID suspected.
Those partiers slammed together in lakes and on dance floors over the past week, perhaps explaining that disturbing new statistic this morning. 250,000 new COVID cases in the U.S. in just the first 6 days of July. Some Americans openly rebelling against basic COVID-19 messaging. In Jacksonville, Florida, which will host the Republican National Convention, this rally to support a local lawmaker who filed a lawsuit Monday against a recently mandated mask policy. 86-year-old Chuck Grassley, the Senate's oldest Republican, announcing Monday he will not attend the convention for the first time in 40 years due to concerns over the virus. Dr. Anthony Fauci saying the pandemic is worsening in the U.S. in part because, unlike Europe, some states and cities moved to reopen before the country sufficiently lowered the number of cases.
We are still knee-deep in the first wave of this.
Same wave, different demographics. Fauci says the average age of those testing positive now is 15 years younger than it was just a few months ago. Many in that 20 to 44 age group erroneously consider the virus harmless.
Young people do get sick. We've seen young people get sick, and we've seen young people even die.
And as the virus ricochets throughout the country, testing sites packed, supplies depleted, and labs backed up. In Arizona, many are frustrated when trying to get test results.
It blows my mind.
And labs now falling behind, some taking as long as 10 days to return results. Quest Diagnostics saying it can have results in a day for priority patients, but 4 to 6 days for all other populations. And the company adding it is doing everything we can to bring more COVID-19 testing to patients in the United States at this critical time. But tracing has also become increasingly difficult.
We had colleagues who were testing positive and have to be quarantined, and so the rest of us have to pick up the slack.
This morning, at least 9 states reporting record numbers of infections over the 4th of July weekend. New cases doubling in Florida over the past 2 weeks, the state accounting for 20% of all daily cases in the country. Arizona, now the 8th state to surpass 100,000 cases. And in California, the state's positivity rate climbing to nearly 7%, the governor incrementally shutting the state down again, several counties with severe restrictions. LA County, one of them, it now has more cases than 42 states.
Cases are surging, hospitalizations are increasing, and mostly this is all a reflection of a lot more community spread.
And the New York Times obtaining federal data of what we've known anecdotally for months now, that Latinos and African Americans are more than 3 times more likely to contract the virus than their white neighbors and more than twice as likely to die from the virus. And you really get a sense of that at this firehouse. 95% of their COVID calls are to multi-generational Latino families. TJ.
All right, Matt, thank you so much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.